Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Britton's Hangout Hour, episode 92. I'm here today with Brett Tharp, who is a writer, musician, shit poster on Twitter from time to time. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, you just recently put out a story, didn't you? I haven't read it, but I saw you post about it on Twitter or X, whatever they're calling it now.
Um, I don't think I have anything new, do I? The last thing I published was a short story at Night Terror Novels. I don't think I've published anything soon. I got some stuff coming out soon, but that's
Oh,
it.
this is from 2022. Oh, it's
Yeah,
just pinned on Twitter.
yeah,
I didn't notice that. Anyway, but we're here now. So how are you doing this fine evening,
yeah. It's been a
afternoon?
great day.
So you're a writer. What do you write? I saw you. I saw one story. You called it a monster story. So.
Yeah, mostly horror and dark fantasy, I guess. I like stories that are set in like particular, I guess, period settings. Right now I'm writing a lot of Western set stuff.
Hmm. What draws you to that particular style?
I mean, I grew up with spaghetti Western movies, Westerns in general. My grandpa made me watch those a lot when I was growing up.
Hmm.
I reconnected with them a lot in late 2018, 2019. I played Red Dead Redemption 2, and that sent me on like a big Western spiral, actually.
Yeah,
So,
I was actually playing a little bit of Red Dead 2 before I came on here.
mhm.
It's a great game.
Yep.
So the story you wrote in 2022, is that a western, or is that a, like, what
Yep,
is it?
it was a flash fiction call, although kind of on the longer end of flash fiction. It was like like 2,000 word um, kind of deal, and it was set in Montana and it was in Western period, and I've turned into a little monster story. Like a guy. I think my setting was a guy is chasing his cattle up into the mountains, Montana mountains, and then he just like runs into some monsters up there. It's pretty simple premise.
So it's basically like Lonesome Dove turned into a monster movie.
Yeah, sure.
I may just be saying that because I'm reading Lonesome Dove right now, but
Hmm.
I think you followed me after maybe it was Micah. Or do you watch Micah's channel?
Yep, I'm friends with Micah. I watched the Cormac McCarthy video y'all did.
Oh yeah, that's right. I hope you like that. I worked pretty hard on that.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, we thoroughly love some McCarthy out here in Samoki, dude. So I guess it's you're a writer. Who are some of your favorite writers that you enjoy? I mean,
McCarthy for sure. I've been real big on him. Kind of a late fan, I guess. I got into him 2019, 2020, but I've read
mm-hmm.
I think all of his books except for The Passenger and Stella Maris. Um, yeah, and then I grew up on fantasy pretty heavily. So my two big guys are Cormac McCarthy and George R. R. Martin.
Oh, very good. So yeah, you've been watching House of the Dragon recently.
Hmm. Yep.
uh, yeah, I saw you commenting on some of my posts about um, House of the Dragon. I was just like, all right, this is happening. It's been kind of a weird season so far. I feel like something's kind of off. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I was just thinking this last night. I was watching something with my mom, I think, um, and I really don't think I should be wondering why a lot of television shows that I've enjoyed previous seasons of are kind of flat this year because we just had a big writer's strike. So I assume it has something to do with that.
That's possible. Yeah, it's just there's some inconsistent characterization. I feel with some of the characters. I don't know. Just
Yeah,
feels kind of
pacing's
something
kind of
off.
weird.
Pacing is weird, and also Damon is in a basically is in haunting at Harrenhal basically.
Yeah, I'm begging for him to get out of there. That arc has not been good.
No, it's just no. It has been nice seeing Simon Russell Beale. I quite enjoyed him in Death of Stalin. I don't know if you've seen that movie, but
Does he play the Simon Strong? Is that who you're talking about?
yeah, the guy plays Simon Strong.
I did watch Death of Stalin. I don't remember him in it though.
Oh, he's fantastic in that movie.
Yeah, it was a fun movie. I need to watch it again probably.
Yeah, it's been a weird year for television for sure. I haven't watched like the new Boys season yet, though. I did watch the first Fallout season, which I really liked a lot. So
I like Fallout. I'm watching The Boys, The Bear, and House of the Dragon are like the three. All three of them I think are like a little bit flat in places, but not bad, but a little bit flat.
yeah, I've heard a lot about the Bear. I haven't watched it yet because I don't have like FX. But is it any good?
I hated the first episode, and then I liked the next two, but I keep hearing that it's like there's not a lot of plot progress, I guess, or they kind of. I've heard some people say it's more of a trailer for the next season. I don't know. They get back to the tense arguments and stuff in the kitchen after the first episode. Just they did something weird that on the premiere that I did not like very much.
Well, I mean, I meant the show in general, but
Oh, sorry. The show in general is great. The first few seasons are a lot of fun.
yeah, I've heard it's about a restaurant.
Yeah, it like starts out with them. It's like a guy who's taking over his dead brother's restaurant in Chicago, I think. And after the first season, he decides to turn into like a high class restaurant and stuff because he went to school as a chef and stuff.
Mm. I see. Yeah, I've seen some people talk about it on YouTube, like Macabre Storytelling's talked a lot about it, and I'm sure there's other people, but I've seen it. I've seen people talk about it, and make those video essay type videos that are kind of becoming bothersome nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were fun back when they started. Now it's just like, oh god. Now it's
Yeah,
so
I like throwing on one just to listen to when I'm playing a game or something, but the quality has gone down with the more people entering the space, I guess.
So, I guess I should ask this. So, what are you like reading or watching right now?
Um, Reading wise, I'm reading Glenn Cook's Black Company. I'm on the second novel in that series.
Oh yeah, that's that I've heard that inspired Malazan. I don't know if you've read Malazan. I
Yep,
haven't read
I'm a big
Malazan,
Malcolm fan. Yeah, the influence is very apparent
but
after
I've
you read.
heard that I haven't read the Black Company either. But I do know from some friends of mine that it is a big inspiration on Malazan, and also if I remember right, I think a copy I saw had a foreword from Steven Erikson.
Yep, yeah, the omnibus I have has some words from Stephen Erickson. Yeah, very, very clear influence.
Yeah, yeah. Military fantasy is interesting. I'm reading The Prophet of Edan by Philip Chase right now, which is basically a war basically a war book with in a fantasy as well. It's basically the big war book of the series that I'm reading.
Yep, that's one I want to read as well. Chase, I like his YouTube channel.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. I've had him on my channel a few times. He's a nice guy. Um, but yeah, no, it's he also really likes Malzahn. So, yeah. Yeah, what is it with Malzahn? I'm thinking of actually starting it next year. And I'm trying to get people to sell me on it. So like
Oh, you haven't read it before?
I have not read it before.
Ooh, you got to read that one. That's
I
some great
know.
stuff.
I know. That's what people tell me. Either that or um it sucks. There's not a lot of middle ground with this book. It's one of those like either people really love it or it's complete ass.
I think it's a hit all the way through, except for maybe book 8. I think was a little flat. But that's like probably my second favorite fantasy series behind Song of Ice and Fire. Um, yeah, at least it's done. I guess that's points in its favor.
Yeah, that's always true. I mean, we could end up like George R. R. Martin or Scott Lynch, who are just in this weird limbo state. Do you think that Game of Thrones is going to end in book form?
Wait, what do you mean?
Do you think that George will ever finish the series?
Oh, I think we'll get Winds of Winter. I don't know about the last one. It's a little skeptical.
Fair enough. Yeah, I actually want to reread Song of Ice and Fire again because well, I remember I was reading some stuff again recently, and I'm like, man, this is really good. I got to read Song of Ice and Fire again. See, how it holds up, which I'm sure it'll hold up fine enough. It's one of my favorite fantasy series. So there you go.
Yep, they got some new covers coming out later this year. I'm probably gonna try and pick those up.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know if I'm gonna pick those up, but I like them a lot. What the hell? Oh, sorry, my alarm. But yeah, no, it's a good series. I enjoyed it a lot. So what are some other fantasy series you enjoy?
Um, let's see, Song of Ice and Fire. I've read the Black Company, most of the Black Company before. This is actually a reread, and then I'm trying to get through it and get to the ones I haven't read. So that one, Aragon, I think was like the first fantasy novel I ever read. I don't know how it holds up. I've been kind of staying away from it. I feel like it's gonna drop off in my estimation if I do reread it. But that series was pretty pivotal, I guess, for me growing up. What else is there? Honestly, I'm not. For someone who grew up reading fantasy, I'm not as well read as I should be. I haven't read Wheel of Time yet.
I haven't
watched
read
some
Wheel of
people
Time
show.
either. To be honest, I haven't really been attracted to Wheel of Times from what I've heard about it.
I read like the first 200 pages a long time ago, and it bored me a little bit. I don't think it was actually the book's fault. It was like a period where I didn't have a good reading habit, and I had stopped reading. But it did seem kind of very predictable at first. But I mean, everybody says it's great as it goes on, so I'll try it again.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about Wheel of Time from people who enjoy it. I've heard about it from people who don't like it, and I don't know. It's just never really attracted me. I've just never felt the urge to read it. I mean, I'll probably read it someday, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Oh, I thought you were gonna say something.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, no. I'm kind of hipsterish on this part of the internet because I haven't read Malazan yet. I haven't read Robin Hobb yet. I haven't read now what else is popular. I mean, I've read The First Law and I really enjoyed The First Law. So I mean, I don't know if you like gritty fantasy, but First Law is a good place to go if you like gritty fantasy or grimdark or however you want to call it.
Yeah, I want to read more grimdark stuff. Yeah, like I said, I'm not as well read. I've realized I'm not as well read now that I've become friends with a lot of other writers, and they just have read hundreds and hundreds of books. I realized I spent all my time reading and rereading Song of Ice and Fire, I think, when I was a teenager.
That's fair. I mean, A Song of Ice and Fire is a good series.
Yeah, I'm happy to. I reread them so many times, but I probably should have been spending some time on some new stuff too.
Yeah, that's always a good idea, But hey, I'm not judging you. Song of Ice and Fire is a good series to reread. Though again, I need to take my own advice there. I haven't read it in a while. But yeah, I remember really enjoying it a lot. And I remember when I was watching the show, I'm like, oh man, there's a lot of differences here.
Yeah.
So I also see you play music. I think I actually found some of your music because didn't you post it up on YouTube or something?
All my stuff's on YouTube. I mean, I post about music, movies, and books in pretty equal measure on my Twitter. Let's see, did I release something? I got some stuff coming out later this year. I don't think I have any brand new stuff out that just came out or anything, but I've got something coming out next month, and then I got a big album I've been working on for a couple of years that I hope to have out in fall.
So I mean, I admit I don't usually get to talk about music so much on my channel, but I do like it. So
Hmm.
like what kind of I mean I see you have Jason Isbell on your shirt there. I've listened to a
Yeah.
couple of his songs. There's one called I think it's Elephant. Have you heard that one?
Elephant's a great song.
Yeah, it's a fantastic song. I've heard a couple of his songs. He's very good. But like what type of music do you gravitate towards um or even play? Either or is fine.
Yeah, compared to my reading, I do think I think I'm a lot more. It's not well read for with music. I listen to a lot of different kind of music, but
Mhm.
big metalhead for since I was 13 or so probably,
Mhm.
and all my bands are they're like death or black metal style stuff. So pretty
So
extreme music.
like do you like, would you say Metallica's good or would you say it's normie metal like
Metallica is like your go-to mainstream metal band, but I mean they were my favorite band growing up. So I mean they're great, obviously, but I play more extreme styles of
Oh, okay.
metal
You like
comparatively.
yelly. You like a lot of yelly
Yeah,
metal.
yeah.
All right, all right. Like, do you like Motorhead? Have you listened
Mhm.
to
Yeah,
Motorhead?
I love Motorhead.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'll admit, I'm more of like a prog fan than
Hmm.
metal because I have a hard time with the yelling metal.
Hmm. Yeah.
But I like I'm a big fan of Rush and
Yep.
Genesis
Great.
and though I've heard some people call Rush metal. Would you say Rush is metal or?
They probably border in places. They're pretty experimental.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've heard "Caress of Steel" from Rush, but that's kind of metal, little metal ish.
Probably. I think I've only heard a couple of their like classic albums. Like, what's the big one that has Tom Sawyer and
Oh, Moving Pictures.
yeah, I've listened to that one, and then there's one other I think, but I'm not. I listen to a little prog, but prog's not my like home base exactly. So I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to listen to like all these discographies or anything.
So like, what's some of your like favorite metal bands? I guess that's a good question to ask.
Yeah, so like Metallica was the big one when I was growing up. And then Dark Tranquillity is a favorite of mine. They're like a Swedish melodic death metal band kind of thing.
Mm.
Um, I think Wolves in Throne Room is a great black metal band. They're one of my favorites from the U.S. They were like a big spearhead band in this like subset called I think we called it Cascadian black metal because they were all based up in that in the Cascades, and it was very nature themed music.
Hmm. So like, I'll admit, what I do know about metal is very limited. I do know about
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
the origins of black metal. Like, oh God, what's that crazy guy's name? Who murdered the guy? His name's like Varg something.
Varg Vikernes.
Yeah, that guy's nuts. Have you heard the story
Oh,
about that? Like the guy who, like the dude's bandmate killed himself, and then the other guy got murdered by Varg for some reason. I don't know why.
yeah, it's a classic story.
And now he's out and about, free, and he's spreading like
Hmm.
neo-Nazi stuff around. Basically, I'm like, what?
Yep,
It's really weird.
on old Elon's Twitter.
But like, what draws you to metal, as much as any other, more than any other, uh, music?
Um, I mean, I guess it's when we all got into it as teenagers. It feels like so we were probably all it was our rebellious phase, and it's
Mm.
like transgressive music and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as it went on, I know so black metal is like specifically where like it's kind of home for me in the
Mm-hmm.
metal space. What I always liked about it is it's very meditative. Actually, a lot of it, or the stuff I got into at first, is very meditative. Um, it was like kind of conceived as like anti music a little bit, and
Okay.
so a lot of the bands have very highly repetitious structures.
Mm-mm.
Um, I mean, admittedly, like one of the first songs that kind of helped me understand it was a song by Varg Vikernes' band Burzum. And at first I'm listening to it and it's just so raw and fuzzy, and I was bouncing off of it. But I think I just let it play, and there was a very meditative quality to it that I was like, kind of piqued my interest a little bit, and that helped me want to explore it later.
So you said it's like anti-music. So like how what do you mean by that? Like you
Um,
mean like it's not melodic or something?
well, it is. It's become a very broad subset, but like originally, it was known like the black metal scene was known for extremely raw recordings, um, very not traditional melody. It was sometimes kind of anti-melody. It's supposed to it's supposed to repel the average music listener in a lot of ways, I guess.
Mm.
And they had the crazy, they did some of them did the face paint, or they did ritual stuff at their shows. They, like the bloody goats heads and shit like that.
So I mean they were trying to get people to watch them for sure. That's definitely gonna
Hmm. Yeah,
get
it was
people.
like a rebellion because it was the second wave, as we call it, was like it was in Norway, and a lot of it was like young guys, and they were kind of rebelling against, I guess, like probably a very somewhat conservative Christian norm that relates to like the church stuff, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I heard some of the burned down churches in the
Yep.
early days.
Hmm.
I think even the Varg guy Varg did as well.
Yeah, he took part.
Um, but yeah, it's really I don't know. It's just I've never been able to get into that because like again, it's like a lot of yelling and I don't know. It's kind of it's kind of like you were saying. It's a little hard on the ears a little bit.
Yeah, it's by design, not for everybody.
Yeah, no, I guess I'm just one of those like normies who just doesn't appreciate it. I don't know, but I wanted to I forgot what I was gonna say, but yeah. But I will say the stories about some of the like early black metal stuff I think is kind of interesting. Like I can't remember the dude's name. It starts with an E. But it was the guy Varg murdered, I think.
Yeah, Euronymous.
Euronymous, thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah, when I read about him, huge edge lord,
yeah, a little bit.
and he got murdered.
Yeah, shit happens, I guess.
Like, did Varg ever say like why he murdered him?
Um, I don't know. There's a lot of contradicting stories. I think there was a claim that he was getting like ripped off in the business side or something like that. There's different things. There was a claim that Uranus had said he was going to kill Varg, and then so he was like going to go kill him before he could get jumped. I guess I don't know. You can't trust what these guys say, to be honest.
Fair enough, fair enough. I mean, it's kind of a dark playground they're playing in.
Yep.
How'd they let him out though? That's kind of crazy. You think he'd be in jail for the rest of his life? Didn't he stab him
He
like
served
20 times?
he served like 17 years or something. I think Norway has a different approach to prison, probably more focused on rehabilitation than US, I would expect. Although it didn't really work for Varg, I would say.
Yeah, if oh god, what has he done? He has like a D&D game, if I remember
Yeah,
right.
very very racist D&D ripoff.
Um, and he's basically a neo-Nazi. I think he's also a pagan.
Yeah, he's like some
He's really weird.
variant, some variant of like a pagan reactionary thing. Um, I mean, you can just go on. You can find his
Isn't
Twitter.
he
He'll
also
be
like a
posting about views
terrorist?
and stuff all the time. So
Isn't he also like a terrorist?
yeah, I think he had a terrorist thing in like France or something at one point. I don't.
This guy's a maniac. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Why did they? I know you said that they. I know you said he kind of. They have a different way of viewing like justice out there, but like, geez, they didn't let him they let him go. He doesn't seem
I
to
don't
be
know.
habilitated to me.
I don't know what happened with. I think the terrorist thing was post getting out. After he got out of prison. I don't know what happened with that. Maybe he had some house arrest period or something. I don't know. They were pretty generous to him.
Oh, maybe I should get arrested in maybe I should get arrested in Norway at some point.
Yeah, that's the place to do it.
They might give you like good food, I don't know, but oh
Their,
my
their
gosh.
their prison cells seem a lot cushier than what we got in the U.S. for sure. I think there's an Atlanta episode that I think it's the season where they're in like is it Holland or something. They skewer their I don't know, they're not really skewering it, but they reveal like some about the different prison system. It's pretty funny.
So yeah, so a lot of interesting so like what do you think about like neo-Nazism in black metal?
What about okay, the yeah, that's a big conversation, I
Are there
guess.
are there other neo-Nazis in black metal?
Black metal is kind of notorious for having, we call it NSBM, National Socialist Black Metal. It has a its own little subset. Uh, I don't know.
Yeah, I've
It's
heard Nazi
uncomfortable.
metal is kind of a thing, but like
Yeah, I mean it's present in other stuff. There's fascist and death metal, thrash, all that stuff.
well, I guess that's kind of ironic. I'm sure Hitler and them wouldn't like metal very much.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so.
I don't know. I don't know how that works. I
It's complicated. Yeah.
Now, I mean, I'm sure not everyone is like hip with like Nazis, playing black metal, but
hmm
you know.
Yeah, I mean, there's been like counter movements within black metal with the RABM scene is the red and anarchist crowd. They're very fervently anti-fascist and do a lot to trying to like combat the Nazi stuff.
Why does black metal attract such extreme politics? Like,
It's a subversive, transgressive art form, and it tracks really extreme views, worldviews.
fair enough.
There's like no like normal like liberal black metal bands. I fear we're just not normal like that, I guess.
No, I guess that's fair. I don't really I guess I wouldn't. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm judging you. I just haven't. I don't know if I'm extreme enough to like black metal.
No, I get it. It sounds real weird to normal people.
Which that's fine, I guess. It's I have listened to Blind Guardian though, and they're pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest power metal fan, but I mean they're like a big name. They're like I guess they're a classic in power metal. I think the main power metal band I really like is Camelot. They're a little bit proggy. You might like them.
Oh, I might have to check them out after I'm done with this conversation. Then it sounds right up my alley. I do love me some prog. I like when songs like change tune. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you listened to Kendrick's disses recently.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, my God, he's just ripping on Drake.
Oh man, that was a great time. I was so happy. And what was it? It was it all of May was when that feud went down.
Yeah, like late April, early May. I remember I was like,
Oh,
oh man, I'm so glad to be alive right now. This is
that was
great.
tremendous. I was so happy. It's sitting on a huge hip hop kick. I was listening to rap all month long, just vibing. It was awesome.
And then on July 4th, I'm out in Arkansas. I'm like, oh my gosh, you put out a music video. This dude is.
Whew.
Oh man, it's like he dissed him, then he like dropped a nuke on him, and then he just
Yeah,
started dancing on the ashes with Not Like Us. I'm like, oh my god.
Drake's been like dead silent for since probably Not Like Us dropped like the song.
Yeah, he
Didn't
put
it?
out
Wouldn't
like the
make any
Heart
sense.
Part 6, and which was
Oh,
like
was that after?
I
Okay.
think so. But did you listen to Heart Part 6?
Um, Let me think. I think there was one of Drake's disses I skipped, but then I listened to like the first one, and I think I listened to Heart Part 6, maybe.
I listened to his first one. I think it's called Family Meeting. I like that one.
Yeah, Drake came out pretty decent at first, and then it just went downhill.
Yeah, like he did pretty good, and then like Meet the Grams came out, and I'm like, oh, it's over.
Yeah, this dude is dead.
Oh, he's done. He is done. Oh, that was a great time though. I was talking with a friend of mine a few months back. I'm like, oh man, you've been listening, hearing about that Drake and Kendrick stuff. He's like, oh dude, I've been getting noise complaints because of it. I'm like, oh, okay, awesome. Um, but yeah, I also see you're posting about Longlegs on Twitter. I've actually wanted to see that because whoever did the marketing of that movie should get a raise because it's piqued my interest.
Oh, it paid off too. I can't remember the last time I was at a movie theater that packed. And strangely, I don't remember. I watched Dune 2 in theaters, and I watched Furiosa didn't do that well in the box office, so I'm not surprised it wasn't a packed theater. But like Dune 2 made a lot of money. It was not a packed theater when I saw it, but Longlegs was packed. I can't stand sitting in like front row. I had to sit front row to get into that one.
Mm-hmm.
So that the marketing paid off. And I really loved the movie overall.
So would you say it's good? Like it's worth the watch?
Oh yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was phenomenal. It's very weird and it'll be divisive for sure. Nick Cage's performance is bizarre, but I was really on board with it.
Yeah, he looked. We didn't really get a good look at him, or I didn't.
They conceal him very well. He doesn't show up fully in any of the marketing, and he doesn't show up. You don't see his face in the movie until pretty deep in. Well, maybe halfway.
Yeah, it looks. Yeah, and we also got the lady from Get Out. She was in It Follows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Micah Monroe is very good. I really like her.
I see she's in it, and yeah, I heard she had a pretty intense reaction to seeing Nicolas Cage as.
Yeah, they've been advertising that like her heartbeat skyrocketed when she saw him or something like that. He's a really uncomfortable presence on the screen, but if you go in to watch it, you'll laugh more than you expect to. Strangely,
what is he like, hammy or something in the movie?
I don't really want to spoil anything, but he's definitely. They do play some. There's a bigger presence of humor, and there's going to be. It's kind of a rock and roll satanic panic kind of element to the movie.
Oh, so I see. This makes more sense why you really like that movie.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it looked interesting. It kind of looked like one of my favorite movies, Seven. So I thought
pretty Seven-esque, yeah.
About these detectives are confronting the face of pure evil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll start out in that kind of Silence of the Lambs 7 era or kind of vibe, and then it'll spiral more towards the satanic supernatural stuff.
Fair enough. I mean, I won't ask you what happens because like I would like to see it. I'm thinking about going to see it, but I don't know if my usually me and my dad go and see movies. I don't know if he would be down with watching Longlegs. He'd probably be like, "What the hell is this, Britton?"
Yeah, maybe take him to see Horizon or something instead. That's what I did.
Yeah. So what? Did you go by yourself to see Longlegs?
No, I went with my mom. I actually have slowly over the last 5 or 6 years, I've dragged her to like every art house horror film I want to see. So she's gotten used to it. And then went with my dad to see Horizon. I wouldn't take him to something like Longlegs.
Oh, you're talking about BioShock. Okay. Oh. You play video games?
Yeah.
Oh, what games do you like? Well, you mentioned Red Dead 2. I guess I already knew that you must play video games if you like Red Dead 2.
Yeah, I like I'm a big RPG guy growing up.
Have you read the first or not read? Have you played the first Red Dead game?
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Because I had actually met some people who didn't play the first game and they played the second one, and I'm like, oh man, first game's really good too.
Yeah, you're missing out if you do that. Yeah, I need to replay the first one. It's been a long time.
I'll admit, I might think the second one's better than the first. Best prequel of all time.
Yeah, the second it's a little awkward. There's like some pacing issues, but the raw story I think is so powerful.
I thought it was, though. I mean, I'm just on there screwing around and hunting stuff because you could do that.
Mm-hmm. Also, I really appreciate the pacing of the slow pace of the gameplay, not the story. I like the very deliberate. You mount your horse, you get off of it, you have to take stuff out of your pack on your horse.
Yeah.
kind of thing. I really like that kind of realism, actually.
You know, it's funny. I was talking to a friend of mine about that the other day. I'm like, it's kind of a double-edged sword. I really like it feels really authentic, like you're authentically living in the West. But at the same time, it is pretty annoying to go back and forth and getting all this stuff over here. It can be frustrating. Not frustrating. It's just kind of irritating.
I would have thought it would be more divisive because of that kind of deliberate pacing to the gameplay. But I mean, it's a very popular game. Most people seem to really like it. So.
Yeah, I guess people really like attention to detail. I respect it, I have to say. I mean, it has its drawbacks, but I respect it for sure.
Yeah.
Like, even with, the violence and stuff, you're like, man, they really went all out on this.
Yep.
Or at least I thought they did. But
yeah, incredible cast of characters and everything.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, we get to see how John and Dutch ended up where they were. It's really sad. It's the only game I've played. Last of Us came close. I got really emotional with that game. But it's probably the only game I've actually teared up.
Yeah, yep. This one definitely drew some tears out of me.
I don't cry a lot. Like, I'm not much of a crier. It's kind of weird.
I don't advertise that I cry a lot, but I cry sometimes. Okay, don't bother me about it.
Like, I have feelings, but no, but no, that game really got me.
Yeah, very. Always the most devastating part for me was Arthur's conversation with the sister.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's really good.
That's a tough one.
Where I broke was actually his last ride back to camp.
Yep.
I was like, man, it's really sad. But sorry, I interrupt you with my Red Dead talk. What other games have you played?
Right now, I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3.
Got some. Oh yeah, I've been wanting to try that, but I have this weird thing about I wanted to play the first two games first, but
I don't know how the first two connect because I haven't played them either. Actually,
I don't know either. It's kind of your typical quest narrative fantasy.
I think it's like a D&D thing. You can just kind of hop in. Honestly, I mean, the first two are probably worth playing, but I will. But I mean, I think it's quite
apparently the
designed
second game is like goat. It's like goat status.
Okay.
Also played a little of Planescape Torment, but I don't know. I just have a hard time with those type of games that are kind of, RPG. You have to wait. You have to roll dice literally in those games. I don't know if it's like that in Baldur's Gate 3, but.
Baldur's Gate 3 has the D&D dice roll thing very explicitly.
So you can just swipe and miss because the dice roll was bad.
Yeah, that's the appeal. The failures is like half the fun.
All right, I've heard some of the characters have become pretty well loved, though I haven't really been playing it, so I don't know.
Judging by the amount of memes about them, for sure, but I'm only like 11 hours in probably. So I don't know much about the story, but yeah, I mean, I'm familiar with a lot of the cast already without having played it hardly at all. So that says something.
Yeah, it seems to be like the big thing going on right now, at least with video games. Kind of like how Red Dead 2 was a few years ago. Though 2018 was a really good year for games because we got God of War that year, we got Spider-Man that year. I'm a big Spider-Man fan, so I love that, and then Red Dead 2, which is great.
Yep.
What other games do you play?
Let's see. Right now, I'm playing. So Baldur's Gate 3, I'm doing like a D&D style campaign. So we scheduled we play Saturday Sundays kind of deal with a group. And
you can play with groups in that game?
Oh yeah, it's multiplayer. It's I think 4 players, or you can play solo.
Is there a campaign?
Yeah, you play the whole story and everything.
You can play with other people the campaign?
Yeah.
Oh, that's freaky.
There's no difference in the single player versus multiplayer. You're not limited from anything but playing multiplayer with other people.
I'll have to check that out. Anyway, continue what you were saying. What other games have you played?
Replaying Mass Effect, playing that whole trilogy.
Yes, I started that with a female shepherd. I got I didn't get very far. Well, actually, no. I got to the second game and then I stopped. I need to get back to that.
The second game's the best one. You gotta play that one.
No, I mean no. I've played all of them as male shepherd. I'm just
Okay,
replaying
got
it as female shepherd.
I'm so boring with RPGs in general. So like Mass Effect, I always play Paragon, male shep, soldier every time.
Well,
So
I'm
boring.
playing Paragon female shepherd because everyone's like, oh man, female shepherd. Oh man,
Oh, you're
female
switching it up,
shepherd.
switching it up. Yeah,
And I'm like, okay,
spicy.
I'll give it a look. I was pretty upset because like two of my like companions died in the final Mass Effect 2 mission.
Mm-hmm.
I was pissed. I was like, really? Like they just die like that after I like
Would you
spent.
lose?
I lost the assassin Thane, who I really enjoyed, and then I lost the thief lady, which I was like, okay, whatever. She's
Kasumi, yeah.
Kasumi. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. But Thane, I was kind of pissed. I was like, really? Like,
Yeah, Thane rules. I love him.
yeah, but I got we still got Garrus, so I'm all right. I think also Jack died in my playthrough.
I always try and completionist it so nobody dies. But
Yeah, I was just playing, and then Mass Effect 3. I didn't actually hate the ending. I thought it was like it's fine.
for 3, the final ending,
Yeah.
I'm really curious how I'll take it this time. It's been so long. I've replayed the first 2 several times, but I've only seen the ending of 3 like maybe twice. So I'm wondering if now that I have like my tastes have evolved and changed, I wonder if maybe I'll find something of what they were going for in it, or maybe it'll just be crap still. I don't know.
So yeah, I know. You're making me want to get back to Mass Effect now, but I'm kind of in the Red Dead 2 fever right now.
Mm-hmm.
Got a $350 bounty in Lemoyne. Damn Southerners.
It was my tradition to replay it every Red Dead 2 every year, but I got off that, or I fell out of my pattern a little bit. Like every fall, I get a real hankering to play Red Dead 2, but I haven't played it. It's been a little bit.
Yeah, I also I replayed Red Dead 1 earlier this year because it came out on PS4 finally. They didn't really do anything. I really would love to see like them do a remaster with the Red Dead 2 engine, but oh well, probably not gonna get that, unfortunately.
I was so sure they were gonna recreate the whole of Red Dead 1 when you started playing the epilogue for Red Dead 2. I was like, are they just gonna put the whole updated version of Red Dead 1 at the end of this? But they didn't go that far.
I would have liked that, but sadly, that's not what we got.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I also like Grand Theft Auto.
Mm-hmm.
4 is probably my favorite in terms of just the story. I do like
Yep.
5.
Very strong.
Though I do like 5, but I like the multiplayer of I like GTA Online more than the actual. Though the story is pretty good, I think.
I never got to do anything with GTA Online, to be honest. I didn't have good internet for most of my, like when I was in high school or anything, so I didn't really play multiplayer games for the most part.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I really liked. I played a lot of multiplayer games when I was younger. I don't so much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just kind of, I try to play more story based games now.
Yep.
So, though I still like Call of Duty when they put out like good games. Though I heard the Modern Warfare 3 reboot. I heard it wasn't that good.
Yeah, is that the one that was like 4-hour campaign or something like that? Something stupid.
No idea.
I don't know. I haven't played a Call of Duty in 10 years at least.
Yeah, it's like a reboot or remake of, or not a remake, but it's like a reboot of Modern Warfare, and it was the first two games were actually pretty good. The graphics are really good. The campaigns were pretty good. Um, yeah, I heard three kind of dropped the ball a little bit, but oh well. But yeah, no, yeah, no, there's a lot of games out there. I did start Disco Elysium recently, but I kind of fell off from that. Have you ever played that game?
Oh yeah, definitely a modern favorite. I only played it a couple. When did I play that? Was it 2021? Probably. I played it through 3 or 4 times now. It's I think, I mean, it's basically a literary novel in the form of a game. So I love it to death.
Yeah, I'm at a part where I'm trying to get this big lug guy out of the way so I can get into the like factory or whatever the hell it is, and he's just not moving whatsoever.
Yeah, there's
I,
some
I
ways
tried
around
to
it.
fight him and it just failed. It just failed so badly.
Yeah, again, the failure is the appeal. Even it's funny to see how you can possibly fail all these situations.
No, I don't like failing though.
I definitely was like save scumming a little bit the first time, but then embrace the failure later on.
I'm like, I want to know what the story is. Come on, guys. But yeah, the appeal for me was because I generally don't like combat in RPGs when I play them,
Hmm.
because it's a pain in the ass. But
This one's like the conversations are the combat, basically.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I like the conversations and like completing stuff and yeah, who's this guy from Disco Elysium like that you're playing as what's he called, the main character?
Harrier.
Harrier, yeah. And you get your Asian partner with you. It's, it's pretty good. Yeah, I wanna play more of that. Just need to get back into the swing of things.
Yeah, definitely. I read they have a fan translation of the authors. I guess I don't know what role he is at the company because there's a guy who made the universe and he wrote a novel in the world, but and then the fans translated it. I read that book earlier this year.
Oh, is it good?
It's weird. It's one of those things where it's like not really the plot's not really the point. It's like about these guys who knew these girls in when they were young who disappeared, and they're like it switches back and forth between the past and present, and they're like still kind of haunted by these girls disappearing. It's like an unsolved case. So it's one of those books where there's not really a plot progression. It's just it's characters and just in setting details and stuff like that. But I enjoyed it quite a bit actually. And the fan translation was very impressive.
Yeah, I've heard he's like a legit like communist. Like
Yeah, I mean the whole the collective that made Disco Elysium, they're all like avowedly left wing people. And the game and the book are quite political and a lot of. I mean, they're not like it's not propaganda or anything, but they deal with heavy socio political commentary.
so like hardcore but yeah, I heard he's like hardcore leftist.
Mm-hmm.
Even though
Yep.
he's from a Slavic country, they should know that like communism is not a fun thing. But whatever, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, there's discomfort. I mean, they reckon with a little bit like the history, the legacy of the Soviet Union and stuff. But I mean, you have to play the game, read the book to get their perspective, I suppose.
Yeah, though I heard there was a big controversy with the game company. I think I saw a really good like kind of mini documentary on YouTube about it. It's really quite fascinating.
The one about Disco Elysium's developer.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there was a big drama. I mean, like I think they ousted a lot of the original lead writers and owners and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What is the main guy's name? The one that kind of owns or like created the world. I forgot his name. But yeah, they've kind of thrown them all out, and a lot of the sequel plans are in the dirt now. It's a pretty big disaster if you're a Disco Elysium fan.
But like, so does like Disco Elysium work as like a standalone, or?
Oh yeah, I would say so. It wasn't like setting up a sequel transparently. I'd like to have more stories, but it wasn't like it didn't seem like it needed one necessarily.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah, I heard it was a big snafu, for lack of a better word, what happened over there.
Hmm. Yeah, it looked like a mess. I haven't watched the documentary. I just read about it a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, I've played a little bit. I love the art style of the game a lot.
Mhm.
It's really
Yeah, the
it's
art's fabulous.
it's really quite neat. I thought. Um, I also like well, Last of Us. Big fan of that game. Second one, I don't know. I don't know. It's a weird one.
I'm a big fan of the second one. Actually, I'm one of its ardent defenders.
Yeah, I like it, but like I do feel it drags a little bit in the middle.
I think the pacing is a little weird due to the flashbacks for sure,
Yeah,
but it didn't ruin it really, but definitely a little strange.
I didn't really like a lot of the backlash because I found a lot of it missed the point of the video game or missed the point of
Hmm.
the game. I thought, but yeah,
Yeah, I would say it's a widely misread game for the most part, unfortunately.
but I do
But
think I
it's
do.
come up with a pretty big fan base since somehow. Or like not really a cult fan base, but the defenders of the hate's died down a little bit. The fans are they're comfortable making content about it and stuff. I guess.
Hmm. No, but yeah, it's I do enjoy that world a lot. I'm curious if they would make a third one, what would they do? But
Yeah, I think they're planning to. I don't know where the story would go though.
yeah, that's a good point. I don't know where that would go either.
I think it'd be pretty hard to bring it home in a way. Even though the second game ends in such a devastating place, I would like to see a more hopeful note come about, but I think it'd be pretty tough.
Yeah, I agree. It's I would like to see like DLC maybe like Bill, like what Bill's been up to. But yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think we're past the point where they're going to do that. It's been too many. If they were going to do a DLC, they would have done it a couple years ago, unfortunately. But that would have been cool.
Yeah, or I don't know something.
Um,
I really enjoy I really enjoy those games. Um, so like, what else are you? So what else have you been up to in your life? Reading or watching or whatever.
I'm editing my first novel right now. I'm almost done with it. I think
Oh, what is it? What is this novel?
it's another Western horror kind of thing. It's gonna it'll follow like an outlaw gang, and then they'll go into some. I guess it'd be cosmic horror territory and like kind of liminal passageways and crazy stuff like that. I don't want to, explain it too hard, but it'll. I hope it comes out good. It's my, I've been working on it a few years. First big project, I guess, on the writing front. So I'm excited.
So are you so like what are you thinking about doing? Are you thinking about right? Are you thinking about how are you considering publishing it? Are you gonna try to query it, or are you gonna try to self pub it? Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna try not self publishing, querying it, I guess, a few times.
mm-hmm,
Um, but I mean, I have some resources. I've talked to some people who are in like indie publishing, so I think
mm-hmm,
I know where to go for a self publish.
mm-hmm.
And kind of the same way, both my music and writing, all my creative stuff. I think I'd like to hand it over to like traditional publishing kind of stuff, but I like the idea of having a grassroots kind of base too. So I'm trying to keep on top of how to do things myself as well, and I mean that might help me get um, to the next level later, of course.
Yeah, no, I've thought about doing that myself because I also wrote a book and I'm not entirely sure what I'm gonna do with it. I am thinking of like you maybe giving it a try querying, but considering what my book's looking like, I don't know if it's how that's gonna work, but we'll
Mm-hmm.
see. We'll see.
What's your book about?
It is a dark fantasy. It's very much a throwback to old like pulp fantasy, like Solomon Kane more than like Conan.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so there are going to be Puritans in it that are like basically religious warrior Puritans, but um, it's not very long. It's like 256 pages, at least the version of it I have right now. So we'll see what happens.
Is it going to be like a series or standalone?
It's the start of a series.
Okay, cool.
I'm just hoping if I do trad pub it, they'll be fine with it because I know sometimes if it's not selling, they'll be like, do something else.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. We'll see. Um, so yeah, that's interesting. A Western cosmic horror. There's not a lot of that out there.
Yep. I hope it stands out.
Though I did get a book a while back called Red Rabbit. I haven't read it yet, but
Mm-hmm.
I heard it's kind of a horror western.
Okay.
So it's about
I
like
don't think I've heard of
witches.
that one.
It's about like witches, I think. I'm not entirely
Cool.
sure. Um, but yeah, like, are you reading anything else at the moment?
Um, yes, I think I'm not the kind of person. I try not to get into like several books at once. So just Black Company right now. What was the last thing I read? I read Let the Right One In not too long ago. That was a great one.
Oh, I've seen the film of that. I haven't read the book.
Oh yeah, they're I love both movies and then the book are all I think really great and similarly equal takes on the story. I mean, they all do things specifically that's different from the others that I really loved. Some people kind of talk bad about the U.S. version. I thought that was a great adaptation.
Mm. I haven't seen that version, though I do like Matt Reeves because he made those really great Planet of the Apes films. Well, two of them anyway. He made the
Mhm.
second and third one, and then he made the Batman, which I also really enjoyed a lot.
Yeah, I love the Batman. I watched the 8 movies recently before the ahead of the Kingdom release.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Definitely Dawn of the Planet of the Apes was so good.
Oh my gosh! Right? That was
I
my
was so
favorite
impressed with that
one.
one.
That's my favorite one out of all of them.
I didn't. I was a little. I remember I watched War when it came out, and then I watched it again recently. I didn't like it as much this time. I thought it dragged quite a bit. But yeah, Dawn was so good. I love that one.
Yeah, it's really good. I like Matt Reeves. He's one to keep an eye on. Though apparently the Ping one is coming out soon. I don't know what's gonna
Oh
happen
yeah,
there.
how did that idea come about? That seems so weird. You want to do a series about the the penguin? Specifically the Colin Farrell one?
Hey, Colin Farrell is one of the best parts of the Batman. So I mean,
You think
don't
so?
don't
I liked
discount it.
him, I don't know. He just did. I couldn't. It was hard for me to imagine spinning that idea. I guess.
Yeah, that's fair, I guess. I mean, I don't know if I really need to see it before the next Batman film comes out because I know they're gonna make another one. I
Mm-hmm.
really hope
Take a
they
long
do
time.
one about the scare. I hope the Scarecrow is one of the main villains because I would like to see a Batman film where he's the main villain. You could do a lot with that.
Who's somebody that hasn't been in a major Batman film, like as far as the villains go? I don't know.
Oh God, I would say Killer Croc, but like, what the hell would you do with Killer Croc? He's just like he's an
That'd be
alligator
weird.
man.
That'd be weird for
He's a
the
crocodile man.
totally strange with the Matt Reeves Batman.
Mr.
Kind of
Freeze, maybe. I've heard he had an interest in doing Mr. Freeze, but like, I don't know. I don't
okay.
know. Uh, well, I guess Poison Ivy was in Batman and Robin. Yeah. Yeah, the less said about that movie, the better. Um, oh God, who has it? Like Victor Zaz is one I would really like to see as a main. Maybe he'd be like a good like I don't know, like supporting antagonist. Maybe I don't know.
What was Victor Zaz's deal? Because I remember him from I think one of the games, but that's like my only
He
exposure.
carves his how many people he's killed into his body.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, you know.
Did he have like any abilities or anything? Or
No, I think he's just a serial killer.
okay, hey, that sounds like it might be a good idea then for Matt Reeves' take on Batman.
um, Professor Pig. That would be a fun one.
I don't know who that is. That sounds wild.
It's basically a guy who wears a pig mask who like thinks that perfection is like adding like animal faces to people. It's absolutely
Okay.
insane. I don't know if they would get away with that. That might be too messed up for
Maybe.
be too messed. Oh man, maybe Two Face as the main villain. That'd be a fun one. He was a good supporting antagonist in The Dark Knight, but I think it'd be fun to.
He might not want to do any of the Christopher Nolan depictions. I don't know.
That's fair. I don't know. I don't know. I
Hard to,
mean,
hard to follow up the Harvey Dent from Dark Knight. That's a pretty classic performance.
yeah, I know. It's Oh, who else? Who else? Who else? I don't know. I mean, it's sad because I'm a big Batman fan, and he has a lot of great villains. I'm sure you could.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm sure we'll see the Joker again.
yeah, Barry Keoghan is playing him. I guess I don't. Is that how you pronounce his name? I don't know.
I don't know. He's like Irish, I think.
Keegan, Kogan.
There's a lot of ways that could be pronounced with the Irish.
If I ever meet him, I'll ask him. But yeah,
Okay.
he was pretty creepy in Killing of the Sacred Deer, even though I don't like that movie very much.
I love that movie. That one really grew on me over time.
Really, that's interesting. I watched that and I'm like, what? This is so weird. Why are you talking
Yeah,
about
it's
jerking
so
off your
uncomfortable.
dad?
It's like a waking nightmare kind of thing. But I don't know. It's so uncomfortable. I love it.
I'm like, no one's acting how they should in this situation. Barry Keegan's actually doing a pretty like he's actually acting like he's some creepy dude who's like trying to get revenge. Like, okay, it's just I don't know. I don't know. I would like to see The Lobster from Yorgos Lanthimos. That looks like a movie I would enjoy.
It's interesting. I think I would say it's my least favorite of the Lanthimos movies I've seen, but it was good. It's. I like the first half of it especially when they're in the hotel kind of, and then they after that they leave and do some other stuff. But that first half is very strong.
Yeah, it's something.
It's the same way though with like the dialogue. They all talk like so monotone on purpose. On purpose.
Yeah, it's a weird freaking movie. It's just, and I talked with some friends of mine who like it. I'm just like I don't get it. You know what? I'll just admit it. I don't get it. And he's all like, maybe don't take the film as seriously. And I'm like, all right. Well, I'm talking about Killing of a Sacred Deer here.
Yeah.
Apparently, Poor Things is really good. A friend of mine really loved that, and I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll check it out. It looks like something Terry Gilliam might have made back in the day.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. It was a lot of fun. It's very. I mean, you gotta watch who you take. Don't take your grandma to watch it. There's a lot of sex in that one.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, it's yeah. Here's a fun one. I'm sure you'll like this. Did you ever watch Hereditary? I hope you've seen Hereditary.
Yeah.
I watched that for the first time with my parents. That was an awkward experience.
Midsummer would be more awkward. I actually watched both Hereditary and Midsummer with my mom, and definitely Midsummer was the more uncomfortable one.
Really,
You've seen that one?
I thought Hereditary was far more terrifying. It was scary, man. I was
Well,
like,
it
damn.
was the weird sex stuff that was really uncomfortable.
Oh yeah. No, I didn't watch Midsummer with my parents because of the weird sex stuff. I was like, oh, okay, that's weird. They just brainwashed that guy into having sex with that lady.
I need to watch Beau is Afraid. I heard that one goes some weird places.
Yeah, Have you ever watched his short, The Strange Thing About the Johnsons?
Yeah.
That's a freaking weird one. That one is so messed up. I'm like,
I liked it, but it's pretty messed up. Yeah, pretty uncomfortable.
I'm like, yo, I think his best stuff is actually Hereditary and that short film he made like in 2011. Though I thought Midsommar was like fine, but I couldn't shake the. It felt like The Wicker Man, just weirder.
Yeah, it's another one that grew on me a little bit. At first, I was a little disappointed, but then I think it's pretty great now.
Yeah,
But
I thought he
I
was.
love Superman as well.
I mean, I thought he was kind of retreading ground that he was already playing with in Hereditary, like how grief destroys you, and it kind of the mind rapey cult stuff.
Yeah, I
Um,
suppose.
though Florence Pugh though, yeah, yeah. No, but yeah, it's she was really good in the movie, and Will Poulter's in it, and he's like the douchey guy of the Friends. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Though I mean, I don't know. Hereditary's a great film. I think it's really well done. Never gonna see it again though.
I've said that about some movies, and then I always end up watching them again somehow. I don't know. Snowtown's a big one. I said I was like, I watched that one. I was like, that is uncomfortable. I will never watch that again. And then I watched it again. So, yes, my word means nothing.
Oh, is that any good?
I like it. It is hard, a really harsh watch. Sorry.
Oh, jeez.
There's only like one kill scene in it, but it's like straight up like a snuff. It seems like a snuff film almost. It's so uncomfortable.
Oh my god. Jeez. Oh yeah, that's right. You commented on my thing about Masaria's accent from House of the Dragon. I'm telling you, that accent makes me think of like Dennis's British accent from
I
It's
love that
Always
clip
Sunny.
you posted. I had never seen that clip before. I was laughing at it for like 24 hours straight. That shit was so funny.
You're like, what? It's like every time I see her, I just think of that scene. I'm like, oh my god.
They
No,
tried to tone down her accent, and it's still a little bit outrageous.
I don't know what they were thinking there, but again, it's been a weird season so far. Like,
Yeah,
there's parts like where like it's feeling like they're like trying to make you emotional, and it doesn't work for me.
I thought episodes 2, 3, 4 were pretty strong. The first one was a little muted, and then this last one was kind of slow. But none of them I haven't hated any of the
No,
episodes.
I
But
haven't either. I've just had issues with them.
yeah, just parts and stuff. Really, the Damon stuff is a drag. Was a real big drag in this last episode.
Yeah, or as I've been calling it, the haunting at Harrenhal.
Yeah.
When he was banging his mom last week, I'm like, oh my god, I'm just
Like,
just get out of
what are
here.
we doing here, guys? Who wrote this?
Who thought that was a good idea? Oh man, oh man, oh oh. I see you saw Horizon. I did look at that. Is that any good? Because I mean, with Kevin Costner is always kind of, I don't know. I mean, I think he's a solid actor, but then he'll make something like Dances with Wolves, which I don't know what you think about Dances with Wolves, but I mean, yeah.
I've seen Dances with Wolves one time. I thought it was pretty good. Horizon is a mixed bag. I think it was okay. It's a fun watch, but it's got some big problems. Mainly that it is 3 episodes of a limited series in a trench coat as a pretending to be a film. It's not structured like a movie at all.
Yeah,
It's
and
like
it's
a bunch of
four
arcs, and
parts.
they just kind of the arcs just kind of spiral on and then just ends. And they even put a trailer for the next one at the end of this movie. Very bizarre.
So is it just like overlong or something?
It's like 3 hours long, and it's the first of 4 movies. Yeah, but it's surprisingly not boring. I wasn't bored too bad or anything. I don't really think Kevin Costner is much of a director, but I mean the scenery was really beautiful. Some really incredible settings. Because it dances a little bit back and forth between different territories, particularly the Wyoming territory. Really great mountainous scenes in fall. There's I think one shot with like just a mountainside just carpeted with bright yellow fall colored trees kind of thing that was so beautiful. But then if you're into like, if you know what cameras, like camera work stuff, I don't really think he does anything special in that area. And then his character isn't actually present in the movie that much.
You know, I did see your post about this, and that movie looked. I don't know. Stop motion. What the hell is that? That poster just gives me the weird. You know?
Oh, yeah, it's about a woman who is she's a stop motion animator, and she's helping her mom make a film. Her mom has like arthritis in the hands, so she literally can't do the work anymore. So her daughter is like the hands, her hands now. It's like one of those slow burn, psychological kind of deals. Eventually, they start using literal stop motion scenes for like the horror. It was really good, but I thought it was pretty boring overall.
Um, is it A24?
Um, I think it's Neon, maybe.
Oh, okay. I was about
They're
to
like
say.
the top dogs right now. They did Longlegs, and they got some other movies coming out.
Yeah, didn't they get Chris Stuckman's movie?
Yeah, I'm surprised. I don't know how a YouTuber gets his first film produced by them. That's GoFundMe movie.
I hope it's good.
Yeah, I like him. Or I used to watch his reviews a lot. I'm rooting for him. I don't really expect a huge amount, but
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping it's good too. I haven't seen. I haven't watched Chris Stuckman's channel in a while. But
yeah, I watched him when I was really getting into movies a lot. But it's been a while. I think I watched his Longlegs review. Otherwise, I don't really watch his stuff regularly.
oh, what do you say about Longlegs?
He liked it a lot. I think he's pretty similar headspace to where I'm at with it. I think.
Yeah, I'm curious what it's. I'm curious what it'll be like.
Yeah, you'll be. I think anyone who's seen the marketing, or are we talking about Longlegs again, or are we
Yeah, I'm
talking
talking,
about
talking about Longlegs. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, anyone's familiar with the marketing, it's gonna be a little different than you imagine, for sure. So just roll with it.
So does the whole movie look like that? What it looked like in the trailer?
You mean like tonally, or
No, just like that kind of weird. It has like it's kind of like
that like small square
yeah.
camera? They switched between that and like a normal wide view
Okay.
a lot. It's mostly for flashback purposes. Is the small square camera thing?
Oh, okay. Huh.
That's kind of like a camcorder. I don't know what it's evoking. It's some kind of old. It looks a little grainier when that happens. Maybe a little VHS or something.
Yeah. I mean, again, I've only been really interested because of the marketing for it.
Mm.
It's just so weird and out there. and I like Nicolas Cage. I posted something on Twitter the other day where I'm like, oh, I think Nicolas Cage is a pretty good actor when he's not doing his like Nicolas Cage stuff. But hey, don't get me wrong, I like Nicolas Cage going crazy.
Yeah, he's great. Honestly, I've really come around on him with like Mandy or Pig. Those were great performances, great movies.
Yeah, I still need to see those. I've heard. I did see A Quiet Place Day One from the director of the Pig movie.
Oh, that's the same director? I didn't
Yeah.
even know that. Was that good?
I liked it though. Yeah, I like those first two movies a lot.
Yeah, I'm not freaking out, in a hurry to go watch it, but I like the first two. I might see it this weekend. It's either that or Maxine. Probably, I'm supposed to go with someone, so I'll let her decide.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen any of those movies. I haven't seen the X. Isn't that what it's called? X.
Yeah, X and Pearl. I like both of those. I'm hearing Maxine's not as good, but maybe it'll be pretty good or
Though
pretty fun.
uh, though it seems they've really gone all out with the casting in Maxine.
Yeah, a pretty stacked cast. Kevin Bacon, Giancarlo Esposito. Is that his name? I said that right.
I do like when Kevin Bacon does weird roles like that. So
he looked a little weird. I'm curious what's going to happen there.
he's another one. I think he's a good actor. I've like. Have you ever seen The Woodsman?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, he's fantastic in that movie.
I don't think I've watched that many Kevin Bacon movies, to be honest. Let me think. Mystic River. What is
That's
another
a
one? I've seen.
fantastic book. I did watch the movie. It was pretty good. It was a good adaptation.
I love the movie. I guess I probably better read the book. I guess Wild Things is another Kevin Bacon one.
Ha ha.
Otherwise, I don't know if I've seen him in very many things.
No, I mean I wouldn't say I'm a big fan of Kevin Bacon though. I mean, from all accounts, he seems like a cool guy. And some of the movies I've seen, I think he's good in them.
Hmm.
Um. Oh. Well, I saw Footloose when I was a kid, but I don't know.
Yeah, I've never seen Footloose.
Never seen Footloose? Oh,
Nope.
okay.
I've
Oh
only seen
man,
the tractor.
glorious '80s, just '80s-ness.
Yeah, all I know is they play chicken with tractors at some point.
Oh yes, they do that, and they play I sing or I Need a Hero. It's delightfully cheesy. um, I really I mean it's a fun movie. So what are some other movies you enjoy?
Let me think. I've watched a bunch of movies this weekend. Although did we already talk about all of them? I'm watching Cure right now because I heard it was very similar to Longlegs.
Oh, Cure. I don't.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
It's a late '90s Japanese film. Very similar premise to Longlegs. It's like a rash of murders. There's a detective investigating these murders, and it's always like a guy who like kills or somebody that kills like a family member or someone close to them brutally. They always find him near the body, and they don't seem to understand their own intentions. Like they remember doing it, but they don't know why. And there's like an amnesiac man who interacted with the killers before every time.
Huh.
I only watch. I've been watching kind of piecemeal. Unfortunately, like I'll turn it on before bed and then fall asleep before I can finish it.
Huh.
So I got
Actually sounds interesting. I'll add that to my list. Let me go.
yeah,
On my,
it's like really acclaimed movie, I believe.
let me go on my Letterboxd.
Yeah, judging by Letterboxd, it has like a 4.2 average or something. I
I don't know
think.
if you use Letterboxd.
I do, yeah.
Like us cool kids, but it's so much better than. Can I complain about IMDb a little bit? Like IMDb fucking sucks.
I don't know. I've never. This is the first movie rating.
I guess it's on my list already. All right, good
Okay.
job, me. I sometimes forget if I put films on or not. I've been really bad with film watching recently because like I have Max, I got Prime, like I can't choose anymore. I got Tubi, man. I got Tubi.
Tubi's good. I like Tubi, except I hate that it autoplays movies because I always go to bed watching movies, so it will like just autoplay some complete garbage all night.
Yeah, there's a lot of like trashy looking films on there for
Mm-hmm.
sure. Which I guess I should have expected it. It's a site where you watch movies for free. So that said, I did watch Time Crimes on there because I was on a bit of a time travel kick a few years ago, and I really enjoyed that movie a lot.
Okay, I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh, it's fantastic. I also saw The Nightingale was on there, which I've wanted to see for a while. Or I remember,
Yeah,
I remember seeing it a few years ago, but I've forgotten it. I do remember there's that really like messed up scene.
yeah, I love that movie, but it is uncomfortable. There's a lot of rape in that movie. A bizarre amount of rape in that movie.
Yeah. and they don't flinch. Like it's
No, yeah,
mm, it's not
but
fun.
it's really touching if you can get past that.
Yeah. I remember. I don't know if you ever watched Amanda the Jedi, but she said there were literal therapists at the showing she went to. I do not doubt her,
Wow.
because it gets real messed up.
Yep.
I need to see the Babadook though, from the same director of that movie.
Yeah, I never really liked that one. I guess I kind of appreciate what it's doing. I didn't really get into it that much, so surprised I
But
like Nightingale so much.
going back to Longlegs, I've heard like I've heard like the premise is like Nicolas Cage is like the killer, but like he's not, but he doesn't like step into the house or something. It's really weird. from the sounds of it.
Yeah, the premise is like it's a family that basically one member of the family kills the others, and he leaves a cipher, but they have no evidence that he was ever in the house during the killings.
Huh.
Yeah, but he always like signs his name and leaves it with like a code kind
So
of
wait,
deal, like
is
a
his
Zodiac
name
kind of thing.
literally Longlegs?
Yeah.
All right. Did they explain why he's called Longlegs?
I guess there's an implication, or it's like a detail you can dig into, but they don't like explicitly. I don't think they explicitly explain it.
I guess I'll have to see it to figure it out. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But it sounded cool. Yo, Cure sounds really cool though. That's really. I'll have to check that out.
Yep, I'll probably finish watching that after we're done
Where
here.
are you watching it on?
I had to rent it on Amazon. It's
Oh,
like $3.
Oh, okay.
You can probably rent it on YouTube too, I think.
Oh yeah. I could probably get it off Amazon. Maybe. I don't know. So is it good? Like, did you watch the whole thing, or did you not?
I still got like 30, 40 minutes left. Like I said, I was kind of watching it piecemeal, which is not how I should be watching it. But so I got the last stretch to finish, but it's been really good so far.
I always like when noir and horror are mixed, because I think there's a lot of ground for that in both of those genres, because they're both very dark genres.
Yeah, what's a good example of like a horror noir? Do we have? I'm sure we must have some.
Seven.
Oh yeah, I guess so. That's
Or
obvious.
Silence of the Lambs. Though,
Yeah.
I mean, is Silence of the Lambs noir? I don't know. It's a crime film.
It's like a crime procedural horror kind of thing, I guess.
Hannibal. If you ever watched that show.
Yeah, I love Hannibal.
Which is basically like weird arty take on the Hannibal Lecter mythos, but it's really fun. We need more crime horror movies.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, did you watch Furiosa? That was a pretty. I thought it was pretty good.
I thought it was a masterpiece, basically.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I adore Fury Road. I thought that one's also a masterpiece.
Oh yeah, I thought it was not seeing that in theaters, so I basically
I missed it in theaters too. I pirated it, I think, and I kicked myself later.
Yeah, you breaking the law. I see. It's like that Judas Priest song. Though, yeah. So you really are a metalhead. That's what you're saying. All right.
Yeah, yes, sir.
just breaking the law. I see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, but yeah, I like yeah, I also like a lot of movies. There's some I have down here I want to see. Like I have Clute. I want to see Clute. That's like an old noir film, and Brotherhood of the Wolf, which is like a French horror movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard of that one.
So many stuff, so many things, so little time. You know how it is. So, are there any movies you said you're watching Maxine soon, or you're hoping to see Maxine?
It'll be either Quiet Place or Maxine, one of the two this weekend. Yeah. I got a lot of stuff on my watch list. I got some Kurosawa movies I want to get into. I watched like 5 of his kind of classics, I guess. So I want to watch some more.
Yeah, I watched. I've watched Yojimbo, which I really liked. Though the version I got was, my dad decided to give me the English dubbed version, which was fine.
Oh no,
that was kind of annoying.
Yeah, I can't stand watching dubs.
I mean, it kind of breaks the immersion for me if they're not speaking and they're like, I don't mind. Like, my dad hates reading subtitles. I'm okay with it.
I have subtitles on all the time anyway, so it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, but he's like, oh yeah, here you go. He's probably just, he does that from time to time. He'll just be like, oh, I don't like it. He must not like it either. Here you go, son. But I really oh God, have you seen the two Raid films?
No, I haven't. I've only is it Gareth Evans that
Yeah.
directed those? I've seen Apostle, but not the Raid movies.
Oh, I was about to say, yeah, the English dubs on that are really bizarre too. So there you go. I bought those off of Amazon. I really enjoy I enjoy action movies when they're well done anyway, like Fury Road or The Raid.
Yeah, I'm particular with action. It's like John Wick. I like John Wick, and I like Mad Max. That's
Mm.
mostly it, I think.
Have you seen the old Mad Max films?
Yep.
I was about to say, I'm curious. I'm curious how many people actually watch Fury Road without watching the original Mad Max films.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the original Mad Max trilogy is pretty good. Road Warrior's the main fixture for me. First and third are okay, I guess.
I really like the first one a lot, and I like Road Warrior too. But just when he takes revenge on the motorcycle gang, I love that.
Yeah, great if it wasn't just like 10 minutes of the whole movie.
I love that. And the car chases are really good too.
It starts off really strong, and then kind of the middle to late sections gets slower. I don't know.
Yeah, they kind of mosey on a little bit. Um, but I don't know. Just I was talking. I was talking about. I was. It's funny we're talking about this. I really like revenge. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll admit, one of the things that's kind of like about John Wick is I don't like how he just like walks up and just shoots Theon in the face and that's it. You know. Like, I'm like, I want them to suffer before they die.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm a sick son of a bitch, I guess.
You might like black metal after all. Actually,
Black.
you
Oh,
should
is
give
that
it a
what
try.
it's about? Is it about taking revenge on people?
It's the dark thoughts in your heart.
Oh, all right. So this is just like they should. Oh, well, maybe I will take to black metal. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I like horror movies, so I guess
Yeah.
I'm surprised black metal doesn't take more from horror movies, unless they
Um.
do, and I don't know about it.
Or what do you? How do you imagine taking from?
I don't know, like having an aesthetic based on horror. I think there are bands that have done that. Like,
There probably are. I know some death metal bands that like. There's a Impetigo is a pretty good death metal band that they had an album where every song or like every other song was like a horror movie sample.
oh, okay, yeah, well,
They're pretty
maybe.
cool.
I don't know. I mean, I really like. Yeah, there's this one album. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like based on like old slasher films from the '80s.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what the band or the album was called, but I mean, if anyone wants to mention it down in the comment section, they can. But yeah, well, kitty, I don't know, kitty. Cat likes to jump up on my desk. Do you have any pets?
Yeah, couple cats and what we got? We got 4 dogs, I think.
Oh, jeez. Hope your house doesn't smell like cat piss.
They're
Because
well behaved, I guess.
I've been to some friends of mine's houses who have a bunch of cats, and it's every time I walk in there, it's cats just pissed everywhere.
Well, I don't. If I guess you wouldn't notice maybe if you've lived amongst cats for a long time, but they seem clean to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's a weird thing. I don't know if this has ever happened, but like, or maybe I'm sure it has, but like you walk into someone else's house and just the smells and like everything else just is different,
Mhm.
and it
Yeah, you
just
gotta have like some unfamiliarity sometimes to catch a smell. It seems like.
I don't know.
It's like how your mom might walk into your room when you were, teenager or whatever, and she'll think something smells, and you just didn't notice it at any point.
Yeah, it might be it. I don't know. I really I mean it's something. um yeah. I mean, so is Brett Tharp a pen name or is that your actual name?
That's my actual name.
Oh, it's an actual
I
name.
don't
I was
know.
about to say it sounds pretty cool. I have to say.
I never thought about a pen name. Well, it's funny. I've never thought about a pen name, but I have a black metal pseudonym
Oh,
for
really?
my
Oh,
bands.
really?
Yeah, yeah, which is weird. I don't know. Maybe I should have a pen name too.
Maybe. I have a friend who his name's Curtis. He wrote a book called Black Heart Boys Choir. I have it over there. I don't want to pull it out though. He is also into black metal, and he writes. And he's also doing a black metal project. So there you go.
Cool. Dope.
I think you would like. I mean, I don't know how many horror novels you read, but I mean, I think you would like. I think you would like. Blackheart Boys Choir.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it.
It's not very long, though. The kid's more into classical music than metal. Though there's a couple of like kids who join up with them who are more like punk / metal fans.
Like within the story, you mean?
Yeah, within the story. Yes. So, oh, yeah, I actually saved Caden's life in Mass Effect 1 in my first playthrough because
Oh, why? Why would you do that?
I held him in more. I'll admit my nostalgia for Knights of the Old Republic blinded me.
Yeah, that's all he's got. Is just, I'm like I hear Karth, and that's the only point in his favor. Otherwise, he's just devastatingly boring.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, hey, Cartho Nasty, and then I'm like, and then I play along with him. I'm like, this fucking sucks. Why did I save this dude's life?
Yeah, really, with the first game, you just take Garrus, Rex, and you're good. Probably they're by far the coolest companions.
Yeah, I did manage to not kill Rex, so that was good.
I killed him the very first time I played.
Oh man,
never again.
Such a great character though. You miss out on a lot.
Yeah.
Like when you go on the world of his people, I can't remember what they're called.
Tachanka, the Krogan. Yeah.
The Krogan, yeah. I should remember that because it sounds like the Curtain from Highlander.
Mm-hmm.
But at least you can bang Ashley if you save Ashley's life. That was a dumb idea. I don't know why I did that. Though I got with Laura in the first in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Liara, yeah. God, why? Yeah, it's good. Those are good games.
Yeah, they're great. Second one might be a top 5 for me. Maybe not, because I'm trying to think of what my top 5 is. Definitely about 10 years ago, it was definitely a top 5er, but I've played a lot of great games since then.
Yeah, it's definitely one I hold in a lot of fondness.
Yeah, its only flaw is those stupid planet scanning mini game that sucks. Yeah. But everything else about the game is perfect.
Yeah, I actually went on the moon one time to like do something, and you get freaking ass blasted over there. I'm like, nah, I'm out, bro. I ain't doing that. Yeah, some of the side missions are kind of annoying, but aside from that, they're good. They're good games. Though I did try to get Garrus to not kill the guy who betrayed him, because I'm like, man, it ain't worth it,
This is my Paragon playthrough. You're going to be a good guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever played as Renegade?
I tried. I don't think I stuck with it.
You're too much of a good guy to be a Renegade.
I think they have internal testing, and they like BioWare was always saying, like, most people just play. They're just the good by default, like for some, there's just like not enough incentives to be an asshole in a lot of RPGs. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, what am I really getting out of this? I don't know. I want to feel like a good person.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. It's basically it's like the best Star Trek game that we never got. I mean, I would love to see a Star Trek game at some point, but
I really admire the cosmic horror elements nowadays. I don't think appreciated him as much as I should. The Reapers are spooky.
Oh yeah, when you talk to the like head honcho in the first game. Oh my god.
It's like, wow, there's a race of sentient mechanical gods that are coming to wipe out the entire universe. Cool.
I
That's
know.
not terrifying at all.
Yeah, you're like, damn, like wait, aren't they like machines though?
Yeah, they're like living sentient machines.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, there was like the Reapers, and then there was like the other guys. I forget their name.
Yeah, the Geth are, well, they're not sentient, but they're like a kind of a rogue machine
Oh,
race.
they were
Kind
called
of.
like the Collective or something. The
Oh,
Collectors.
yeah, the Collectors are the bug guys from Mass Effect 2.
Yeah, and then in 3, is that when they show up?
That's like the full Reaper War starts.
Yeah. That's right. I did see I did see your McCarthy ranking. I have to say I like the ranking, though I would put No Country for Old Men a little higher personally. Though I haven't read all of these books, so I don't. I
Yeah,
probably shouldn't judge too much.
I read No Country pretty late in the series, or like in his bibliography.
Mm-hmm.
And whereas I've watched the movie like about a million times, but I just don't know what the book does that's better than the movie. The movie just seems like it elaborates in all the right places.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean it's I mean there's a couple of scenes that are different, but yeah, I would agree with you. I think both the book and the movie are both pretty like the same. Yeah.
Like Chigurh is a lot more eloquent and talkative in the books. I prefer Ardem's performance, and McCarthy's prose is very spare in No Country.
It's probably because it was a screenplay first.
Yeah, he was doing the screenplay thing, and I always admire his description. You know,
Yeah, though
it's a great book for sure, but I just I would put it below most of his other stuff, and I think the movie's better.
I mean, pretty good ranking. I actually read The Crossing this year, and that was sad. Like,
Oh man,
might be his saddest book.
It took me a while to read all the way through it, but
Same.
man, the high points are so devastating.
I know. I'm like, my God. I was getting towards the end. I'm like, God, he just keeps kicking this dude down. Like, dude.
Oh man, it's crazy.
Like, okay, he has this heart thing, so he can't fight in the war. Then he learns his brother died. Then he goes to collect the corpse. Then he gets robbed by a couple of guys. They knock over the corpse. You're just like, dude.
Or not even including the poor wolf. I was so sad about the wolf.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, I thought that was what the whole book was going to be about, like him and this wolf just kind of wandering around, and the wolf just dies in the first act. I'm like,
yeah, I thought the wolf would be more present, but it's gone in like the first quarter or first third, maybe.
Yeah, I was like, damn. Oh, okay. Well, okay. I'm hoping to get to Outer Dark this October because
Outer Dark's great. That's an underrated one.
I've heard that's a spooky one from.
Yeah, it's not like horror or anything, but there's a spooky through line, I guess.
Yes, I hear the antagonists in that are really quite something.
Yeah, there's like these three strange, nameless, faceless men. Kind of, they're like they're following the characters. Kind of, it's pretty weird.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm also hoping to read the last book of the Border trilogy next year, and then I don't know if when I'll get around to the Orchard Keeper and Passenger and Stella Maris, because like I don't know if I'm ready to let go. Like, oh man, when I stop reading them, they're not gonna be there no more.
But if you were looking at my ranking just now? What did I do? I did Blood Meridian, Suttree, then The Crossing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Which Blood Meridian's number one. I'm like, yeah, that's just right. That's
normal. That's appropriate.
Suttree is number 2. I read Suttree last year and I really liked it. That was another one that took me a bit to get through because, I said it in a thing. I think I was talking with somebody and I'm like, Blood Meridian I think is his like grounding achievement, but I think as like a prose stylist, I think Suttree is like right up there with Blood Meridian. Like he pulled out all the all he had with that one.
Yeah, it's not like a propulsive plot or anything, but man, the writing is so good.
Yeah, it's like a I call it like a vibe novel where it's just like
Hmm.
they're just chilling out and fishing. It'll get a dead baby from time to time, and you're like, what the fuck? Then he puts a dead baby up. Some guy's having sex with watermelons. You're like, what the fuck is this? That shit was hilarious. I was like, what is this? But I like it.
I don't know if you're selling it very well. I don't know. For the average person, I don't know if the average person's going to pick up Suttree after that description.
Just go Melon Munter, get to that point, and if you're not sold, don't read it. It's just like, wow, this is really something else. Yeah, Child of God's pretty good ranking there. I thought it was kind of meh. Though
It's
great writing though. I
it's
thought
an
the
easy
writing
one to read. I think its length is a huge boon for it because it's such disturbing content. But it being like a really tight 150 pages means you can. I've reread it a couple times. It's like so, if it was longer than that, I think it would be. It could really tank it if there's just too much. But
yeah, I need to
solid
read it
book.
again. I want to read it again at some point because
It was the first McCarthy I read actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, I read it on like my Kindle app on my phone because it was at a point where I didn't have a lot of books. I think I was coming back out of college, and my reading habits were screwed. I just didn't want to read after I got an English degree. I just didn't want to read anything anymore. So I started with like Kindle app. I was reading some shorter books. So I read that, and then Blood Meridian I read on Kindle app first before I got a hard copy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Blood Meridian's my favorite because just the everything.
Stone Cold classic. Yeah.
Yep, I mean, just how it's written and just the weird. It feels like you're in a fever dream, and the judge and his just weirdness. He's really scary as well.
Are they trying to make another movie out of it again, or they're trying to do the movie Ring Around again?
Yes.
They're always like talking about it.
Yes, though. Yeah, I don't know how I don't know how the hell they're gonna make a movie out of it because it's very.
Yeah, I think they probably shouldn't. So I don't remember who was in talks last I checked. They always talk about James Franco, but I'll kill myself if he directs Blood Meridian. I'm sorry.
No, I think they got him off the movie, so you don't have to suicide.
Oh,
you
thank
don't have
God.
to do that.
Oh, thank God. He's a horrible director.
Well, I like The Disaster Artist. That was pretty good.
Oh, did he direct that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give him points for that one. That one was fun. But he directed the Child of God adaptation, which was horrible. Bad. Yeah, he was terrible. Yeah. and it's bad. Largely because there's just no talent behind the camera. It's not like the performances are bad. It's just the camera work is just not there. It doesn't know what he's doing, and the whole movie is just uninspired as a result of that. But
yeah, just get like the Coens to do McCarthy adaptations, or they got John Hillcoat for this version of the movie, which
that's who.
Proposition's great. I do like his adaptation of The Road a lot. I think it's an underrated classic.
Hillcoat's good, I think. I just think Blood Meridian probably should be left alone.
Yeah. I would like to see a comic of Blood Meridian, though. That would be fun.
Okay. I was talking to somebody. I think just like a short back and forth on Twitter because somebody was saying S. Craig Zahler should do Blood Meridian, and I disagree. I think.
Yeah, and if I remember right, he doesn't even like Blood Meridian.
Oh, does he not? Okay.
No. Though, which is kind of funny because they I think both him and McCarthy have a similar kind of vibe, but oh well.
Okay. I like a lot of his work. He's got a black metal band, if you didn't know, or he's been in a black metal band.
I heard he did music. I haven't listened to it. I'm like, my God, what can't that man do? But I've read I've read his 2 westerns, which I really liked, and I've seen all of his films. Brawl and Cell Block 99 is probably my favorite out of his. Good old fashioned revenge. I love revenge when it's like real cathartic.
I've got like a love-hate relationship. Like I like all of his stuff, but then I had some real criticisms of him that like bugged me. But I mean, I love his 3 made movies, and then I've read his 2 westerns, and I read the script for one of his movies that never got made.
Yeah, I thought Dragged Across Concrete, the pacing dragged a little bit, but I
It's
thought it
too
was,
long for sure, but
yeah.
it's got 3 great parts.
Yeah, like, there's the one part with Dexter's sister, which, they could have cut out, but I really like it. I think it's really well done. But,
Yeah, that's the toughest thing. Is like this part's good on its own, but like it drags the movie down as a
a little
whole.
bit,
That's like
yeah. And, like, there's a lot of, like, just Vince Vaughn and, like, Mel Gibson just screwing around doing stuff, and you're just like, what?
there's like a whole lengthy part where they're eating sandwiches or something in the. Or I think Vince Vaughn is eating a sandwich really annoyingly.
Yeah, and you're just like, dude, okay. But all three of his movies are pretty good from what I've read. I like them a lot.
Yep.
I'm hoping he'll put something out soon.
Oh yeah, he's got something in the works with Vince Vaughn again and Adrian Brody. I think it's gonna be a crime thriller, something like that. Yeah.
Looking forward to that. I don't know how he got Adrian Brody, but we'll see
Yeah.
how it goes. That's
I'm glad Vince Vaughn's back because it seems like Vince Vaughn's only good drum rolls are with as Craig Zoller.
Yeah, he was great in Brawl and Cell Block 99. And he's really good in Dragged Across Concrete as well.
Yep.
Yeah, Mel Gibson was good too, even though, like, Mel Gibson kind of went off the deep end there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He made a comeback there, but then he kind of, like, went away again. I don't know what he's doing.
Oh, did he have more he didn't have more controversies, did he? I mean, or anything?
I don't know. I don't know what he's doing.
Okay.
Like, if he's ranting about Jews again, I'm like, God, dude, stop. Stop. Stop with the Jew hate.
It's funny that he's like probably the least racist character, and he's not the most racist guy in Dragged Across Concrete, even surprisingly.
Yeah. Oh, the villains in that are real. One of the things I do like in Dragged Across Concrete are the villains. Like, they are really scary in that film.
Yeah, they're weird. They're uncomfortable.
Yeah, and they're also, like, real methodical.
Mm-hmm.
It's real freaky.
I don't know who that actor is that plays like the leader of them, but he's like one of those side guys you see in a lot of stuff. That's always good, but you don't know his name.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, fuzz in my eye. I did read. I am reading Lonesome Dove right now, and I do know they made a mini series about that in the '80s. But, like, hey, you can make one in the 2000. You can make one now, and it would probably do pretty good in, like, HBO or something.
Have you not seen the Lonesome Dove miniseries?
I have not, though. I do see it's on YouTube. So maybe after I read Lonesome Dove, maybe I'll watch it and see. But I've heard it's really good. Like, Robert Duvall's in and Tommy Lee Jones. I'm like, oh, Tommy. This seems made for Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, it's a great. I always think of it as a movie because I think I had a VHS version of it, but I guess it is kind of like a miniseries.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't read the book. On the flip side, I've heard the book's very good.
I'm liking it a lot, but it's all good. Yeah, no, it's really. Oh. Well, I mean, we're about getting on 2 hours here. But I've enjoyed this conversation though, as always. Thanks for coming on, man. Today, this was fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Also, I'm probably gonna go eat with my family in a little bit, so I want to get on that. But as I like to do before these are over, if you have any social media or anything you'd like to share, feel free.
Yeah, find me at Brett Tharp on Twitter, I guess, or X, whichever you want to. I still call it Twitter, to be honest.
Same here.
I think I have a WordPress, but I don't really like to promote it because I don't really do anything on it, and I need to probably have somebody like design it to look good because it looks like crap. So just Twitter is fine. Yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, if you want to promote like your music and stuff, like where can you find that, or your writing, whatever?
Oh yeah. So I got a few bands, but I'll just promote the one. My main band is called Dark Watcher. We're a black metal band with kind of spaghetti western Americana influences, kind of a unique spin. I would say. So
You're
you check
really
it out.
interested in westerns, it seems.
Yeah, I've really gotten into that. I got a lot of other Western stories I want to do. The other project's going to be always kind of Western themed. So yeah.
All right. Well, again, thanks for coming on, man. We should do this again sometime.
Yeah,
Maybe
thank
talk
you.
about other movies. All right. Take care, everyone. Until next time.